fellow makeup fiends, today I'm going to do a little comparison video between the Naked and Naked 2 palette, and these are from Urban Decay, as you know. The Naked palette was very difficult to come by. It sold out originally and it was very difficult to get a hold of. I did eventually manage to get a hold of this, and I didn't actually own any brown shadows before this at all, and I didn't wear them. I didn't like them on me, or so I thought. And then I saw this and I went and looked at it, and I actually liked that there were quite a lot of lighter shades in here, and then you had some different shades like a blue and more of a burgundy, and I thought, okay, so there's not too much brown going in there, so I'll get it. And I absolutely fell in love with it, and I really do like the lighter taupey sort of beige colours. This is a lovely crease colour, which is Naked, and of course it's a matte, and they've released Naked 2 in the Basics palette. You can see them there. Naked 2 is more of a cool toned colour though. This is more of a warm toned. But this is what the palette looks like. Everybody's seen this and talks about this regularly on YouTube. And as you can see, I do use it quite regularly. Some colours more than others, but as you can see, every single colour has definitely been used. The least used colour appears to be Buck, but there you go. So that is the Naked palette, and I absolutely love this. As you can see, I've hit pan on Virgin, and I'm going to get that in singular version to go in my Build Your Own palette, because I've got one of those and I've left 2 slots open in the Build Your Own palette for Virgin, and I want to get Verve, because those are 2 of my favourite all-time Urban Decay colours. So, in this you do get some goldy sorts of colours as well. There's not much matte in this palette, in fact there's only 2. So you get Naked and Buck. Everything else has got a lot of shimmer to it. But I absolutely love that. You've got 2 sort of blue colours and a burgundy at the end. And then you've just got your lovely sort of highlight sort of colours, and your, like what I use as an eye base. I love Virgin to put on before I put any colour over the top. So this is what it looks like. And if you live in the UK, you will also know of the Undressed palette by MUA. I'm just going to grab that. This is the Undressed palette by MUA, and this has become quite famous on YouTube as a very good dupe for the Naked palette, and I'm going to put those together there. So you can see there is quite a bit of similarity. Swatched, they're not quite so similar, but I will do, some of them are, although I will say, but I'll do a video swatching these together and doing sort of a side-by-side comparison of the shades. Some of them are quite similar, some of them are not really, but they're pretty close. So if you wanted to get something like the Naked palette, but you wanted it on on a budget, then the Undressed palette is definitely something to think about. It's really, really good. But I'm making this video because I want to talk about the Naked in comparison to the Naked 2. Now, the difference between the 2 palettes is this one is a velvet touch palette, and it just flips open. It's magnetised on the front. And you did get a brush with this one. It wasn't originally a double-ended eyeliner, which was Whiskey and Zero, but mine came with a brush, and I'm actually pretty happy with that because I like the Urban Decay brushes. So that's what the original looked like, and then when they rebranded it, it actually comes in a tin, which is like an old sort of pencil tin. And I find that the only thing I don't like about this is it's very prone to flip and shut if you don't bend it all the way back. So you've got to make sure that you do bend it back, otherwise if you're trying to put your makeup on, it can often flip shut on you. So the packaging is not amazing on it, but it's different. Also, mirror size, you get a small mirror in the Naked palette, and in Naked 2 you get a huge mirror which is covered in dusty fingerprints. Never mind. So these are the colours that you get in the Naked 2 palette. Now, I love the Naked 2 palette. I would say that the colours in here are just a little bit more universal friendly, I would say, because there's some quite standout colours in Naked, and I think some of these are a little bit more muted, and I actually prefer that. Actually, I probably reach for the Naked 2 now more than I would the Naked. As you can see, yes, I've used the Naked a lot, but I do love Naked 2, and I actually do like using them together. So looking at them together, you can see there are some similarities, but they're not the same. There are no blues. There's a 2 blues and a burgundy sort of colour in here. So I'm saying hustle and cussle together. Hustle is like a burgundy sort of brown. It's really, really nice, but it's quite deep. Now, in this one you also have your 2 blues. This is all browns and black. There is no blue in this palette, which is actually quite nice because I'm not really sure where these 2 fit exactly in this one. but I do like them. It's not that I don't like them, it's just I feel that they don't really fit so much. Whereas they've got this totally amazing black in here, which is blackout. Now this also features in several other palettes, including the smoked palette, which is beautiful. But this black, as you know, is just the most intense black. It's incredible. And that's what it looks like as I've dragged it down. It's gorgeous. So I'll do some swatches and just kind of show you these side by side. So I'll be back in a second. Right, so these are all the swatches on my arm. Turn this around here. So the basics is underneath, all matte shades except for the last one. You can just see these lighter ones here. It's very difficult because my skin is very pale, but you can just see the first shade is very white. This is more of a creamy colour, and then that turns a little bit taupe colour there. So this is the original Naked palette here. And then that is Naked 2. Now, I don't know if you can really see the differences there, but some of the colours are a lot more rich, like the browner colours are a lot more warmer tone. Well, that's a warmer tone brown and rich. That's a cool tone brown. And there's a copper shade in there also. This gold is more of an antique yellow gold. It's got a lot more yellow to it than the gold in the original Naked palette. And yeah, I think that Verve is a beautiful white shimmery colour, and there's nothing like that in the original palette, and in fact you can't even see Virgin on my skin tone. But I actually do prefer the colours in the Naked 2 palette more. I just think that as lovely as these are, they're really quite warm toned. I think you do have a bit more cool toned and just a bit more choice in colour here. Also with the copper and then the actual creamy colour. These creamy colours stand out a lot more. So in Naked 2, that one there is Booty Call. Booty Call is a really lovely creamy ivory colour. I really like that one. I don't know if you can see the difference as such, because I know there's a lot of brown shadow going on there. There are a few little similarities, but I do feel they've kept it quite different and just balanced it, and they've kind of just given you what they didn't do in the Naked palette, they've done in Naked 2. So they've given you that copper, they've given you a more of a creamy white, they've given you a very deep dark chocolate brown, which has got some cool tones, and then to offset that they've given this beautiful almost like hot chocolate colour here, which is really nice, and it's got no shimmer, that one, not compared to the colours in the Naked palette. So that is all the swatches together. I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a look at that. Do I think there's similarities? Well, they're brown shadows. I think there are always going to be some similarities with brown shadows, but I do think that if you're an Urban Decay fan, it is worth investing in both of them. I do think that there are differences when you look at them side by side. I'm just going to pop that down there, it's easier. I do think there are some differences, even where you look at some shades and you can think that they look fairly similar. There are differences between them when they're swatched particularly, and I just think there are some beautiful standout colours in the Naked 2 palette. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm also going to be doing an Urban Decay collection video, so I hope you'll enjoy seeing that. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully it's been of some use to you. But I think that these colours are beautiful, and I think it's just a lovely set to have. And I love this because you get your beautiful 5 matte colours, which just create the most beautiful perfect matte eye, and then you've got your very light shimmer. It's not a very rich shimmer. I think Verve is quite shimmery and shiny. And when you look at these two side by side, this is Verve, and then this one is Venus. It's a lot less noticeable, the shimmer in it. And I think when you get those on Verve, Venus, you can just see that this has a nice light shimmer to it. I think this is the perfect accent if you're doing a matte eye. If you're doing a matte eye, you might want a little shimmer, but not too much. Verve would be too much, and I think that Venus is the perfect shimmer. I absolutely love the Basics palette. I've been using this a lot lately, but I love all three, and I do like to get all three out and then choose a couple of colours from each and work with them. And I will actually do a few tutorials from these palettes. I have an upcoming one from this palette that I've got arranged already, and I do intend to do a couple using colours from Naked and Naked 2 together. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to love you all and leave you and see you all soon. Bye.